Good morning, all. Today's October 16th, 2024. The zoning planning meeting will convene. If we could rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Start with case number 1. Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. For the record, Adam Mendez, Senior Planner with the Community Development Zoning Section. The first case before you is DCI 2023-00035. The subject property is 5.3 acres located on the west side of Slater Road, approximately 1/3 of a mile north of Bayshore Road. The subject property is designated suburban on the county future land use map. It is located in the North Fort Myers Community Plan area. Property is zoned agricultural, AG2. Is currently developed with a place of worship circa 2001. The request is to rezone the subject property from agricultural to commercial plan development to repurpose the existing commercial building and parking area to allow a contractor's office with open storage. The hearing examiner's recommendation before you is approval with conditions, and there are no participants of record.
Move the item for approval. I'll second.
A motion and a second. Any public comment? See none, bring it back up here. Any discussion? Anyone opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Case number 2, please.
Good morning, Commissioners. For the record, my name is Beth Workman. I'm a principal planner in the zoning section. The next case before you is Kingston Street RPD. It's DCI 2022-00046. This is a project to rezone 12.9 acres from residential single-family and commercial plan development to residential plan development to allow a maximum of 258 multifamily units that are 45 feet in height. The requested density includes a maximum of 129 bonus density. The master concept plan has been designed to have the less intensity towards the residential community to the south, with the lakes being designed in that area. The hearing examiner recommended approval with conditions. There were 5 participants of record.
Thank you. Any questions? Does the applicant like to make a presentation?
Terry Kramer, Wilbur Smith on behalf of the applicant. No presentation at this time.
Thank you. I have 5 participants. Marlon Kastner? No? Marlene Dimmers? Derek Felder? Kathy Ford? Keith Magnum? Okay, no participants. Gentlemen, what would you like to do?
Move the item for approval.
Motion, I'll second it. Motion second. Any discussion? Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Case number 3, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. For the record, Joe Saraceno from the Planning Section, introducing CPA 2022-00012, a privately initiated map amendment before you for adoption today. This case has been before the board before, but just as a refresher, it's a request to add approximately 11.4 acres to the Lee County Utilities Future Super Service Areas map. That's Lee Plan Map 4B. This parcel is on the eastern boundary of the Corkscrew Shores subdivision on the south side of Corkscrew Road. Lee County previously found this request to be consistent with the Lee Plan. The board voted to transmit this amendment on August 21st, 2024. The state reviewing agencies had no objections or comments on the proposed amendment, and staff recommends adoption.
Any questions? I have one public comment. Marcia Ellis?
Thank you. If you will give me just a second so that I can
Take your
work
time.
to get my PowerPoint up.
Thank you, Jeff.
Can you show me where that's located?
Yeah, it should be on the desktop here.
All right, give me just a second. Alex exhibits. Great. Thank you. Okay. Well, I am not sure how, okay, we've got a rotating arrow here, and I'm looking for maximize.
Right-hand corner.
Okay, thank you. Marcia Ellis for the record. I live at 17850 DeVore Lane, which is zip code 33913, approximately 20,000 or so feet from this property. I had spoken out originally back in 2020 when it was first proposed. I was also here for the August 21st, 2024 CPA initial hearing on the sewer element before it went on for transmittal. I've had concerns for flooding. We do have a hydrologic study in this area as well as for wildlife. Since I first spoke out in 2020, we have had 3 panther deaths in this approximate location, the most recent being October 2nd, which was a four-year-old female, as well as a panther cub in 2021. This is a well-known breeding area of panther we have video of a mother with 3 kittens along the Wild Blue and DeVore perimeter. We have game cams, and we frequently capture images of the panther and report those faithfully to FWC. I've expressed concern for this development, which is wholly inappropriate at Flint Pen, which is one of basically how we can take a pulse of our water flow in this area for years. This is a really sensitive area that's archaeologically sensitive, and we have panther as well as fox squirrels and lots of wildlife that are attempting to get across this corridor. We have been assured that flow would be maintained because this is some excerpts from the hydrologic study that accompanied the award-winning Dover Coal, and we can see the elevation change in the Flint Pen, which dives down to really the lowest elevation in the DRGR. It's like a bowl. So we have water moving into that area from really all directions, including across the proposed corkscrew crossing, formerly Small Brothers. I politely request that all of the documentation accompany this, because we have 20%, as measured by flow meter from the hydrologic study, of water on our road, DeVore, moving across this area and then crossing the road. In the email, which I sent to all of you, staff, etc., this morning, I was recently out after Milton, which was a dry storm, and I captured images of how much water is moving across here, which is being shared with the South Florida Water Management Resilience Study as part of their newly launched app. So I want you to, I oppose, and I would like you to reject this proposal.
Thank you. Any other public comment?
Good morning, Commissioners. For your record, Richard Aiken. I'm here this morning on behalf of the applicant, and I believe Ms. Ellis was the only member of the public here, so I just wanted a brief rebuttal here. I just wanted to remind you that this is a pretty straightforward plan amendment. We're not asking for a future land use map change here. All we're asking to do is to add the property to the future sewer service area map. That's it. Property as existing at this point in time has a community commercial zoning on it. It has had that zoning since the 1980s. It also has an existing variance on the property that would allow for an on-site sewer treatment plant. The LEAP plan has specific goals and policies to protect the groundwater in the DRGR, which is where this property is, and we believe that by adding it to the future sewer service area map, you're furthering that goal. So we would encourage or ask that you approve this plan amendment. If you have any questions for me, anything you'd like me specifically to address, I'm happy to do that.
Any questions?
Thank you. Obviously, due to site development, this will be dealing with water management, dealing with the water flows. I know that behind this property, there's actually a retention pond already being built back there for the water, for the road storage, correct?
Yes, sir, that is correct. So the county owns a parcel back behind this as well as the water management district, and the county is currently constructing drainage facilities. They have an easement across the western portion of our property, of the Small Brothers property, to get back there and to do the drainage pipes. They're working on that currently.
I was just out there before the storm. I understand the public comments, concerns about the water flow. We were looking at that eastern flow from the east to west, even east of Burgundy Farms Road last week before the storm. But this area is going to be capturing that water from this site. As far as the habitat, I understand in the future, still as the construction of the road, which is being done now, that intersection will have a signal pretty soon before March. There is going to be habitat crossings throughout that corridor, correct?
Correct, and as a matter of fact, I can show you there is an existing Panther crossing that is here, if you can see.
Just east of that, yeah.
Yeah, just to the east, right in this general area, there's an existing Panther crossing.
And it gets a lot of use too, because the cameras. But that area there is really congested now. If you have been out there late at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, that traffic will be backed up on Alico Road, even a mile going north to south. So it's a very congested area now. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Any other questions? What's your pleasure?
I move the item for approval.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? Any objections? Seeing none, motion carries. Thank you. We're adjourned.